Namaste children. In fourth lesson, the summit, we have completed 17 points. Now we move to the 18th point. My first feeling were of relief that there were no more steps to cut, no more ridges to traverse, and no more humps to tantalize us with the hopes of success. Yes, when they saw, they were relieved, very relieved. So that is a relief. They said the first feelings were of relief. What is the meaning for the word traverse? Yes, here there is no need of any more steps to walk or to cut, or no more ridges to traverse. Traverse means travel across or travel through. And so more humps to tantalize. Tantalize means tease or taunt, as with hopes of success. Other might tease them. So there is hereafter there is no chance of teasing. I looked at tensing. Yes, immediately he looked at tensing. In spite of the balaclava helmet, that means the helmet, it was very hard to bear any heat on the rock or any snow or keep them very from the cold. That is a helmet, balaclava helmet. Goggles means that is a specs and oxygen mask. They all encrusted with long icicles. Icicles means that is hanging, tapering the speck of ice down. That is icicles that concealed his face. That all concealed his face. There was no disguising his grin of delight as he looked all around him. Though there were many things to hide his feeling, but he could see his grin. What is the meaning of grin? Mean a wide smile. But he couldn't disguise. Disguise means could not hide. That is his grin of delight as he looked all around him. Then he looked with happiness. We shook hands. And then tensing threw his arm around my shoulders. Yes, he threw his arm on his shoulder. And we thumped each other. Yes, they showed the thumb. Thumped each other means they sat together but back on back. One lean on, another back. That is thumped each other on the back until we were almost breathless. Yes. It was 11:30 a.m. The ridge had taken us 2.5 hours, but it seemed like a lifetime. Yes, 2.5 hours seemed like a lifetime. That means they struggled a lot for this 2.5 hours. To the east was our giant neighbor, Makalu, unexplored and unclimbed. What is the meaning for the word unexplored? Means no one could go there. And unclimbed, no one could climb that Makalu. On that Makalu, far away across the clouds, the great bulk of Kanchenjunga looped on the horizon. To the west, we could see the great unexplored ranges of Nepal stretching off into the distance. To the west, the east, there was Makalu. The west, they could see the great unexplored ranges of Nepal stretching off into the distance. It's a long distance, it was stretched. The most important photograph I felt was a shot down the north ridge, showing the North Col. What is the meaning for the word col? Means the lowest point between two peaks. That is called col. The North Col and the oldest route which had been made famous by the struggles of those great climbers of our 1920s and 1930s. After 10 minutes, I realized that I was becoming rather clumsy-fingered and slow-moving. We could not move because his fingers became frozen like a feeling. So I quickly replaced my oxygen set. Then immediately he replaced his oxygen set. Meanwhile, Tenzing had made a little hole in as he replaced his oxygen cylinder, he made a little hole in the snow. And in it he placed various small articles of food, a bar of chocolate, a packet of biscuits, and a handful of lollies. All things he kept in the hole which was made by him. Small offering. He offered something to the God. That is indeed, but at least a token gift to the gods that all devotees, Buddhists believe, have their home on this lofty summit. Buddhists believed that God, what is the meaning? That is, they are staying in the summit. The Buddhists believed that the gods are staying in the like this summit. So he offered something to the god. Those who helped them to climb the Everest. While we were together on the South Col 2 days before, Colonel Hunt had given me a small crucifix which he had asked me to take to the top. Who was a hunter? John Hunter, who led the expeditions, who was the head of his group. His full name was John Hunt. So before that, 2 days before, he was given a small crucifix. Crucifix means cross, which he had asked me to take to the top. Yes, he gave me that cross to go there. Whenever we are going out, some holy things will be given to us for our safety, like that it was given to him. I too made a hole in the snow and placed the crucifix beside Tenzing's gift. He offered some eatables, he offered the crucifix. After 15 minutes, I moved down off the summit on to our steps. Yes, moved up, down off means they are coming down from they left that place. Wasting no time, we crampened along our tracks. Crampened means the climbing on ice wearing spike shoes. That is crampened along our tracks, spurred by urgency of diminishing oxygen. Why they urged? Why they rushed from there? Because there was the deficiency of oxygen. That is diminishing oxygen. We scrambled cautiously over the rock traverse, moved one at a time over shaky snow sections, and finally crampened up our steps and back on to the south peak. As they used their spike shoe and they came down very slowly. We were now very tired, but moved down to the two reserve cylinders on the ridge. Yes, they found two cylinders on the ridge. As we were only a short distance from camp and had a few liters of oxygen left in our own bottle, we carried the extra cylinders down and reached our tent on its crazy platform at 2 p.m. When they reached down at 2 p.m. When they started 11:30, now they reached here 2 p.m. With a last look at the camp that had served us so well. Yes, they stayed for a long time there in the tent. No, so now on that camp, they had a last look at the camp. We turned downwards with the dragging feet and set ourselves to the task of safely descending the ridge to the south place. Safely descending. That means safely they were coming down. The time passed as in a dream. Two figures came down. Yes, the time passed, the dream, and as in dream, two figures came towards us and met us a complete 100 feet above the camp. Yes, two figures approached us. They were George Lowe and Wilfred Noyes, laden with hot soup and emergency. Yes, they brought the soup and emergency oxygen to them. Who brought George Lowe and Wilfred Noyes? Just short of the tent, my oxygen ran out. Yes, when they reached the oxygen ran out means completed. It was exhausted. We had enough to do the job, but by no means too much. We crawled into the tent and with a sigh of delight. Yes, this sigh. Sometimes when we are more tired, we sigh. Sometimes when we are very grieved or very sorrow, we sigh. Here, this is the sigh of delight. Sigh means a deep breath. Permuchi, we can say. Collapsed into our sleeping bags. Yes, they collapsed. That means they fell down. While the tent flapped and shook under the perpetual south cold, gale. Yes, now they reached. Then John Hunt, who led the expedition, states that it was an unforgettable day. Yes, they said, and the head of that team said it was an unforgettable day. They had climbed to the top. Yes, they had climbed. There were shouts of joy, handshakes, and hugs for the two heroes. Their happiness and pride showed how these men had shared this achievement that was brilliantly concluded by Tenzing, and yes, it was very brilliant achievement, no? So they were praised by all, they were applauded by all. The adventure was over. The story of the ascent of Everest is one of comradeship and teamwork formed through dangers and difficulties met and overcome together. Yes, this adventure was not done very easily, he said. Perhaps after the climbing of these great mountains, others will find their own Everest. Yes, whatever you are doing, after the climbing of this great mountain, others will find their own Everest. That means all found that Everest. For there are still many opportunities for adventure. There are, other than the climbing Everest, there are many Everest are there in our life to adventure. Some are close at hand, others are far away in distant land. Yes, some Everest are very close to us, some are very far away. Not all adventures are exciting. Yes, but no, all adventures are not exciting. Nor is adventure to be found only upon a mountain. Then another one he said, no, the adventure is not found only upon a mountain. There are Everest to be climbed in our everyday life. Yes, we are climbing the Everest every day. That means we are facing many difficulties in our country, in our life every day. Given the selflessness and resolve which enabled men to climb Everest, given selflessness and resolve, yes, we have to get the determination and the selflessness only enable them to climb Everest. Like that, we also be selfless and resolved. There is no height, no depth that the spirit of man is. That is not, that the achievement is not depend upon the height or depth. Right? That is only depend upon the spirit of man, guided by a higher spirit, cannot attain. If anyone have no spirit, cannot attain his job, cannot attain his achievement like Everest. Yes, my dear children. So, very beautifully he finished the lesson. Then what does he want to say in this lesson? He concludes the lesson how? It is, that is philosophically he finished, he advises. Hillary and Tenzing accomplished their task of climbing Mount Everest. In other words, they proved that there is nothing but hard work and persistence leads to success. Hillary said the ridge had taken them 2.5 hours, but it seemed like lifetime. He said no, but success was just a few steps ahead of them. This lesson advises us to be ready to climb Everest in our everyday life with a higher spirit. We may learn the moral, hard work and diligence are the two sides of the coin success. Yes, my dear children, for you too, it is very suitable for you. You have to learn this moral. This is very up for the public going students. Okay, my dear children, thank you. I'll meet in the next lesson.